Hi, hello, how are you all? Welcome to my channel Law Made Simple with me Vidya Reddy. Today in this video, let us learn about the new topic Mischief Rule or Hayden's Rule. In other videos, we have learned about the grammatical rule or the literal rule and the golden rule. The grammatical rule gives the plain meaning of the statute, while the golden rule, when there is an ambiguity created in the literal or grammatical rule, golden rule will come into picture. The third important rule is the mischief rule or the Hayden's rule. So, before beginning into the topic, let us let me give one example or a story which we can consider as a mischief. Once there was X, Y, and Z. X is the grandfather, Y is the son, and Z is the grandson. When X passed away, Y, the son, is performing his rituals. While performing his rituals, what happened is a dog of their was barking and making him disturbance in performing the rituals. So, what did Y do? Y has tied the dog and he kept it away. So, he can nicely follow the rituals. So, what happened? The Z, the grandson of X or the son of the Y, he saw while performing some rituals, we have to tie a dog outside. So, he also followed the same thing when Y passed away. So, Z also tied a dog when Y passed away and following the rituals at that time. So, they formed a legacy of tying a dog when somebody passed away and following the ritual. This followed as a ritual in their family. So nobody told the actual reason behind tying the dog because it was disturbing earlier when performing rituals. But they followed this as a ritual of tying a dog when somebody passed away. So this is the mischief. So this has to be removed and follow the rituals as it is. So in this case, what we can say that mischief is something which is causing disturbance at that particular moment, but it is not the part of the ritual. So with this we can understand what is the mischief behind that statute. So let us come into the definition. The words used by the legislature do not always bear a plain meaning. Moreover, the judges often differ on the issue whether certain words are plain. If so, what meaning is conveyed? In such cases, the court may look at the object and purpose of the act. At that time of interpretation, the court may consider the object behind the legislation, and this is known as mischief rule. This mischief rule of interpretation was laid down in the case of Hayden, so it is also called as Hayden's rule. So the barons of the exchequer means the judges of the English court, they are called barons of the exchequer. They resolved that there should be 4 things that should be considered while interpreting some rules. What was the common law before making the act? What was the mischief or defect for which the common law did not provide any remedy? What remedy the parliament had resolved and appointed to cure the disease of the commonwealth? The true reason of the remedy, and then the office of all the judges is always to make such constructions as shall suppress the mischief and advance the remedy in the interest of the public. Coming to the importance of this rule. This rule is simple. The court should identify the mischief and they have to remove the mischief and interpret the statute. In order to interpret a statute properly, it would be necessary to consider how the law stood when the statute to be interpreted was passed. The mischief for this, which the old law did not provide any remedy, and the remedy provided under the statute to eliminate the mischief are to be considered by the courts. So it is very simple. So if you find any mischief in the statute, remove that before before interpreting any statute. Just remove the mischief and apply the rule. Coming to the judicial approach, like the case laws where we have considered this mischief rule. In Smith versus Hughes, the question was whether the prostitutes who attracted the attention of the passers-by from the balconies or windows were soliciting in a street within Section 1 Clause 1 of the Street Offence Act 1959. So there was a question that these prostitutes are causing lot of disturbance to the road passers who are passing by that road, and they are soliciting them to in disturbance, like they are causing huge disturbance for the people who are passing by that road. They can do whatever they want within their limits, but they should not cause any disturbance to the people who are on the road. They should not make any offense of solicitation or anything which cause disturbance to the people who are passing by that road. So the court gave that there was an offense caused by these prostitutes, that they have committed soliciting offense, like molesting the people who are going on that street by these prostitutes. So in another case law, Bengal Immunity Company versus State of Bihar. In this case, what the Supreme Court said, that the Supreme Court applied this rule in construing Article 286 of the Constitution after referring to the state of law prevailing in the provinces prior to the Constitution, and also the confusion by indiscriminate exercise of the taxing power by different legislatures founded on the theory of territorial nexus. So what they are saying is, what is Article 286 by the way is, the Constitution of India, there are no restrictions as to imposition of the tax on the sale or purchase of goods. No law of the state shall impose or authorize the imposition of a tax on the sale or purchase of goods where such sale or purchase takes place. So already this Bengal Immunity Company is already paying tax to the government. This state legislature, this Bihar state came with the law that you have to impose another, we have to pay another tax called state tax. So this multiple taxation is making the trade complex. So what the judgment has given, S.R. Das proceeded to say it was to cure this mischief of multiple taxation and to preserve the free flow of the interstate trade of commerce in the Union of India, regarded as one economic unit without any provincial barrier, that the Constitution makers adopted Article 286 in the Constitution. So the mischief here is, there is no other taxation except one tax. So multiple taxation has to be removed, and there should be a free flow of interstate trade and commerce. So there was a mischief, and in this case the mischief was removed by the court. So in another case of Royal College of Nursing versus Dhss. So in this, what happened is, this is a English case law. So what happened in this case is, the people who are having some trouble in delivering a baby in the earlier days, like during 9 weeks of pregnancy. So what they did is, the nurses gave some tablet so that there was a hormonal abortion. So there was a case by some of the groups that why these nurses are not well qualified prescribed doctors, how can they give medicine for this hormonal abortion? It was actually said by the doctors that these nurses can give the just tablet if there is any anomaly in the pregnancy, so they can clean up the abortion with using these tablets, and it can be given by the nurses itself. But if there is any critical case like surgical abortion, that is only done by the prescribed doctors. So there is no harm in giving the tablets when there is a disturbance which is causing by that pregnancy for that woman. So there is no harm. The nurses can easily give the tablet to that woman, but this is considered only up to 9 weeks when there is a hormonal abortion, but not the surgical abortion. This was clearly mentioned in the statute. Another case of Ranjit Udeshi versus State of Maharashtra. This person, he was selling all kinds of books. He was being arrested for that he was selling obscene books to the persons who are below the age of 20 years. So he said that no, I was not aware that what is the information inside the book. So I don't know if the people come and ask for that books. I was selling those books, but I was not aware that these books contain some obscene things or obscene content which should not be sold to people who are below 20 years. So the mischief rule came into the picture here, and it was a judgment given by the court that the purpose of this act is to prevent the mischief. Here, to stop selling the obscene books to the persons aged below 20 years of age. Next, coming to another case of Mongoosing versus the Election Tribunal. So here what happened is the Mongoosing, he did not pay the municipal tax, but he filed a nomination for the municipal election, and he thought he was doing good to the people, he was doing that, this and everything. But later he was said by the election tribunal that he was being disqualified because he was not paying the municipal tax on time. Even whenever there is a nomination, before itself you have to clear all your things. If you are clean and clear, then only the nomination, the election commission will take your nomination and you are considered as a member. So in this case also, Mongoosing versus the election tribunal, what they said is, if a person is disqualified on the date of nomination, he cannot be chosen as a candidate within the meaning of section 13D of the UP Municipalities Act 1916, because the disqualification attaches to him on the date, and the process of choosing consists of a series of steps starting with the nomination and ending with the announcement of the elections. So here the mischief has been removed. So in another case law of Conversing versus Delhi administration, the Delhi administrative authorities saw a lot of stray cattle which were abandoned, and they are roaming on the roads and causing a lot of chaos, and they are causing a lot of disturbance in the traffic. So what they did is they took all the stray cattle which are causing disturbance, and they kept it in there in one of the places. So the owners of these cattle, they came and they said that these cattle belong to them and they are not abandoned, but they left them to roam on the roads. So the public officials, they are teaching them not to abandon the cattle because they are causing a lot of disturbance. Instead of listening to the public officials, the people, one of the person conversing, he was arguing with the public officials, and in one stroke he bet the public official also. So there was a case filed on him. So the court said that instead of your behavior, which is a mischief of leaving the cattle on the roads, abandoning the cattle on the roads, not taking a proper care, you have taken another step of hitting the public official. You have heard the public official, not listening to him. You have done a great mistake. So in this, the mischief is leaving the cattle which are already under the care of owners. They are leaving and abandoning on the streets. So the Delhi administration has taken the authority of removing those stray cattle from the roads. So this is one of the application, or you can consider this is one of the case law which applies the mischief rule. Coming to another case law, Corkery versus Carpenter. In this case, what happened? There is a rule, right? Drunken drive is not allowed. So this person, what he did, he was riding a bicycle. You said drunken driving is a carriage unit or any car, truck or any other thing. But riding a bicycle will not hurt any other person. If I fall, I will fall at one side. But I may get hurt, but I am not disturbing other people. So the court said that drunken drive is drunken drive, whether it is a carriage or anything. The carriage is carrying yourself. The bicycle is kind of a carriage. The carriage is carrying a person. So in this case, the court said that the mischief rule is that riding a bicycle was within the mischief of the act, as the defendant represented a danger to himself and other users of the road. So the mischief here is not the carriage. The carriage is nothing but any car, bicycle, anything which carries a human or a load. So that is a carriage. So drunken drive is not safe. Coming to the applications and limitations. When the material word is capable of bearing two or more constructions, this mischief rule can be applied. This rule is not applicable when the words are capable of expressing one meaning only. So as clear as that. When there is already a plain meaning and doesn't have any two other meanings, then obviously literal rule only will come into consideration, but not any other rule. So when there is two or more constructions and there is a mischief in that, the mischief can be removed using this mischief rule. As such, we have come to the end of the video. It's riddle time. Please answer the riddle in the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe my channel for many more interesting topics. Thank you.